represent CC Live. Oh. CC said she ready to educate, so make sure you log on to CC Live. She a inspired, so make sure say you want to need to CC Live. She will entertain you too, only for you. And when you want motivation, just listen to her talk. Make sure say you want to log on to CC Live. You want to listen every word. When CC a talk, if you're inspired, put up on a natural life, and the truth me not lie, not to CC Live. She a inspired, so make sure say you want you need to CC Live. She will entertain you too, only for you. And when you want motivation, just listen to her talk. Make sure say you want that on the CC Live. Good night, guys. Good night. Please share the live. I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube. I'm going to play my lovely theme song one more time, and y'all just take on the time and come in. All right, rock and come in. Hola! Ayo, 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 Natalo, represent CC Live. CC said she ready to educate, so make sure you log on to CC Live. She a inspired, so make sure say you want you need to CC Live. She will entertain you too, only for you. And when you want motivation, just listen to her talk. Make sure say you want to log on to CC Live. You want to listen every word. When CC a talk, if you're inspired, put up on a natural life, and the truth in your life. She will be active in your life like many verbs, yes. She make sure say you want be happy. With CC Life, you don't need no TV. Put up your foot, get ready to enjoy CC. And you have to show no give no but I'm happy. She ready to educate, so make sure you log on to CC Live. She a inspired, so make sure say you want you need to CC Live. She will entertain you too, only for you. And when you want motivation, just listen to her talk. Make sure say you want that on the CC Live. Good night, guys. Good night, everybody, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate y'all. Just go and share the live. Of course, I'm gonna start the show, but I'm asking you to please share the live. Like I said, share this caring, and we want as many people here as possible. I said them string running to the chat. We want as many people here as possible, watching the live, because the discussions out there. This is killing me. The discussions are, profound, and this is a forum where we come to learn and unlearn, and it's only good vibes, good traits, good message, and fun, entertaining, educational, inspirational, and motivational. A whole heap of aisles, and it really doesn't get better than here for your Sunday evening. Hi, Jay. So yeah. So share the live, guys. I am so exhausted. I am tired. I went apple picking today. Whew, boy, but we get into that in a few. So while you guys are sharing the live, please remember, I can't even see where it is, so I forget my thing. Remember that, your girl here is a brand owner. Today I'm actually rocking one of my own. It's a 2-piece hoodie. Wrong side. Only Greatness by CC Lane. You know the website already, so you can jump on and order yours. I'm not going to tell you that you're going to look exactly like me in it. I was born blessed. However, you'll still look good because you are only greatness. And remember that I do apparel printing, so t-shirts, sashes, hats, you name it, I print it. I print for whatever occasion. So if it's a birthday, anniversary, a bridal shower, baby shower, a gender reveal, I'm a girl to reach out to. Remember, I'm also a host. I host weddings, I host birthday parties, I do public speaking, I do,
I can, I can speak to you on, different topics. I speak, in organizations, schools, you name it, I'll come there and I'll speak. I'm also a notary public, so if you're in the state of New York, you're in the Bronx County, wherever you need something to be notarized, I can also do that. I also do a little immigration consultation as well. Yes, I will put something. Do I know my hat is very big? I don't wear many hats. I have one big hat with a whole heap of something in it. What else do I do? Oh Lord, did I leave anything out? I'm also an author. So if you haven't gotten my book yet, oh, thank you so much, Danae, darling. If you haven't gotten Race already, Restore, Affirm, Claim, and Execute. It's a 31 days inspirational that I wrote 2 years ago. It's on Amazon exclusively. It's not expensive. It's really a good book to help you go into the motions, as we all do. Oh, Jay, thank you so much, my secretary. Let me pin that real quick. So just good book to help you go into the motions as we. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to pin something. Yeah, so just that's one way to support me, or let me say, you can I can't pin on this. Oh crap. Anyways, yeah, so thank you so much for the support, and just get follow me on all the platforms. I'm on TikTok, I'm here on Facebook, on YouTube as well. I'm viewing on YouTube tonight. I'm streaming on YouTube tonight. Yeah. What did I not say? Instagram, just follow me, and thank you guys so much for the continued support. It really means a lot. Guys, let me try to pin this right here because it's not allowing me to pin from my phone. I don't know if it thinks that I'm a spam. I don't know, but Jay posted my information there. You can follow me on social media and all the different something. So, guys, let's jump into the discussion. And I don't want to surpass an hour, but knowing me and this Wally talking and y'all with the discussion, I might. But I want you guys to chime in as well. And if it is a case that you want to join the discussion, I can add you to the discussion, or you can call me, and we can get the show going. But I really do appreciate you all, and I hope to God that you've shared the video, because I'm telling you, this man show is shared is caring. If we don't care for each other over here, then we don't have to come on the show. You understand me? I'm gonna like bad mind. I'm gonna like certain things, So it's a share, and it shows that you care. So my topic for today is, I probably forgot. What is my topic for today? So I'm a topic now, sure. Jesus Christ. People, what the topic now, sure. It's only showing let's discuss. This is foolishness. Anyways, I remember it's how important is friendship to you? That's the question. And before I delve in, I'd like to see a few comments, because since you don't want to have me, so I chat by myself, then we're not going to type in the chat. How important is friendship to you? Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Colette, Danae, Deidre. Good evening to everybody who's watching. I'm waiting for somebody to type something in the chat. How important is friendship to you? Oh, and thank you all for the comments about the lovely background. Yes, it was an effort that I had to put in, to, give me that boost, that extra boost to come here, even on days when I'm tired. Like today, I was saying earlier that I went apple picking, every single time I normally just send the kids with my sister. And I'm like, it looks really, really bad. Back then, I was working 2 jobs, I was doing my master's. So I never had a time to go. And I'm like, I don't really have an excuse now. I'm done with school. I don't have to cook. There are certain things that I just tell myself, I'm not going to force myself to do. I need to make memories with my kids. And so I went apple picking, but boy, I probably would have been cheaper had I stayed home, because them local apple picking places just scam. You take the children out and they want to ride a horse and they want to play at the hay and they want to do everything, every single thing. And I have 3. So, say, it's hard, but it was really fun though. It was really a good experience. We walked and we picked apples and they had fun, and, their happiness means everything to me. So, I'm not even complaining, The Lord will provide again. So when anybody answer, how important is friendship to you? Oh yeah, I'm a notary public. Didn't I say that, Denny? I think I said that. The Mr. The arts them stink, you see? They were so stink. So nobody in the class is gonna answer. How important is friendship to you? And Marie says something over there, so come up on my phone yet. But if I should struggle and try to read, it says friends are very important if they are real. Oh, it come up now. I started looking at friendships differently since I have been burnt by two people. Boy, girl, what a time me get burned in our life. Me's really a phoenix. I'm burned and really, I rose from the ashes that I was burnt to. And it is true. The older I get, I used to always hear my mom say, boy, Krista, I'm not only a friend because people are easy. And I used to be like, but there are so many people in the world, mother. Something must be wrong with you. Why don't you have friends? And then the older I get, I realize that some friendships you can genuinely do without. And, I've seen things happen to her and, personally things have happened to me. And I'm like, and now I see why she don't have friends. Because friendship is something that I strongly believe, it requires a certain level of reciprocity. So if you're not gonna be on my wavelength and disperse the same energy that I'm dispersing into the friendship, then it makes no sense because it's gonna create a disequilibrium, and then somebody will be pulling somebody's weight, and the world is hard as it is already. We don't need that extra stress if we don't have to have it. We have all different sorts of issues, personal issues, economical issues, social issues, mental issues. So why take on this extra baggage if I don't have to? And I do believe that friendships are super, super important. And something that I've grown to realize in the past few, years or so is that it doesn't, the years of friendship aren't that crucial as opposed to the value that one places on friendship, right? Danae says friendship used to be important, but now I have selected few who I call family. And it will, after you've experienced certain things, you realize that it will boil down to that. It's gonna boil down to that. Because I always tell people I don't really walk around using the term friendship loosely. And there are friends that I have, like, I went to apple picking with a few of them today that, I've literally become family because my family is very, very small. My family is my mother, my sister, and my two brothers. That's really what my family comprises of. And I know people with big families and, them talk about the family, them bad man, and the family, them do this. I don't have that experience. And so for me, when I have friends who treat me a certain way, synonymous to how my immediate family treats me, I automatically, describe them as as family. Because, the relationship that we have engenders traits and characteristics synonymous to that of family. So I really don't say friends anymore because, the term that genuinely, that originally defines friendship, you can't really use that term if you're going to say, if you have a certain relationship with certain people, if you get what I'm saying. And like Anne-Marie said, she has been burnt by two. I've been burnt so many times by friends, especially females. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't seem like, the female friendship them last. And it's not all of them. Like my very, very good friend that died in February, and the thing is, I realize I get along better with older women. So my friend who died, she was like 50 something. I have another friend, Yolanda, if you're watching, big up a nice clean self. If you're on my WhatsApp, I posted her earlier in a nice red dress, older than myself. And I have a few friends that are older. My friend Danae, who's watching, we're in the same age group, probably just a year older than me. But, I realized that mentally, she's completely different from other friends that I've shared, that friendship that I've had, with people with the similar age group. It always ends up to be something, and the friendship not work out. I'm tell you something. You see, we can't take the foolishness, we can't take it at all. But I like stress. Me run far from stress. When me see stress, I come me run. And me have asthma. So if me short of breath, I'm really quick for out of breath. But when me see stress, I come me run left it. And me I go tell you something, I go black and delete and pronounce you. I made that. Because when somebody's dead, you really don't look back for them. So when I pronounce you dead, then, I definitely are, I'm not looking for anything back from you. And it has to be drastic for me to tell you that, for me to tell myself that you are dead. You understand me? So I just mean that with friendship, you have to see the value in the relationship. you see me 50% and I see you the same. At no point in time, you should feel like you're more than me. And the same goes for me. It's not a competition. We're supposed to be on the same level. You're supposed to can come to me with certain things, and I'm supposed to be able to do the same. And this is what friendship should be like. But like people use the term loosely, and a lot of people take advantage of friendship. A lot of people, they'll use you. And I'm pretty sure that, Anne Marie speaking about, being burned 2 times. It's probably one of those situations where, she probably felt used or undervalued, because it's always those things, It's always those things. Jay says, a few years ago, I would say 2 out of 10, but now I would say 8 to 9 out of 10 friendships are really important for many reasons, especially socially. It's nice to laugh, go out, and have great times. Worse if you're not near or have family. I wish I had great friendship. I wish I had some great friendship to have great times with. No, they're so important. They're so important. D, keep yourself quiet because we need to go have a drink. Listen, man, it is, for me, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm too extra. I tell people, I'm going to go extra in a relationship. I'm going extra in a friendship. Anything me I do, I'm one of those individuals that's going to give you my all, because, I really believe, say, if you're going to do something, you might as well just give it your all. Me the one when I'm going to put 50% in something when I know say 100 if I put in, because it doesn't give me that level of motivation that I need. So if I'm not motivated to do it, then I won't do it. You understand me? And me not really the one way. I'm not hypocritical at all. My talk fast, so sometimes my tongue tie. So there are certain, you have some people who are very confrontational, and you have some people on the converse like myself that I'll just leave things, because I always say this: people know what they're doing, and I don't need to tell you as a grown adult, man or woman, that whatever you're doing, it's wrong. I might need to tell you once, because sometimes we're not cognizant of our actions and how they affect another individual. So I could tell you once, but I really not feel like I'm supposed to come to you 3 or 4 times and I say, boy, I don't like where you're going with. Jay, what you're doing, and it's the same thing. Might not be the same context, but it's the same content. And so you get the end message. The end message is that you're hurting me. And you continue to do it. It tells me right there and then that you have no regards for me. You have no regards for my feelings. You don't value me as an individual. So I know what I need to do right there and then. Like I said, there are times when people genuinely don't know that, a certain action is causing, a certain reaction to a person or to a situation. And you point that out one time, if somebody respects you, they'll stop. They'll discontinue what they're doing. Because why? Because they respect you. And this is what I tell people all the time, love can't stay for me, to be honest. If you respect me, you will love me. But you can love me and not respect me. I'd rather you respect me, because you're going to respect me, have care and concern for me. You understand me? A lot of people walk around using the term love loosely, just like friendship. So, I have different recommendations. You really don't have to love me at first, but respect me, and eventually, you'll gradually start to love me. And it's because of certain things that I realized that I have to and had to make some radical changes. If I was ever going to be anything in life, if I was ever going to remain mentally sane. Because I don't want to be insane. And relationships, not just man and woman relationships, not just marital, not just sexual relationships, but you have friendships that can literally drain you, because you have people who are around, but they don't appreciate you. And then sometimes you can't even blame them, because if I don't see value within myself, how am I going to see value in you? Case in point, I have this girls group that I'm trying with at school. And we were talking about the self concept the other day, and I started off with self-confidence, and I gave them before I gave them the definition, I asked them what they thought it was, and everybody gave me their different definition. And it came to this point where this little girl said she was lacking confidence, because but when she was in a like probably 4th or 3rd grade, they used to bully her. So I looked at her and I said to her, bullies are, when bullies look in the mirror, they get a reflection. So they look in the mirror and they see themselves and they're bullies. So it's whatever they see in there, that's what they're gonna display to the world. So they're looking at the mirror, them see a bully, them really can't come to you and be nothing else. Them are gonna try you know pass on that whatever emotions they have inside of them that causes them to be that ugly person. They're gonna pass it on to you. They're gonna evoke it on you. So it all boils down to that. If a person don't value themselves, think about it. How can they value you? If I don't know the color blue, I can't tell you that this is blue, that this vase is blue, because I don't know blue. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you have friendships, or you're in relationships, and you don't get the basic human decent treatment, that person is coming from a place where they don't know these things either. Is it your responsibility to teach them how to treat you? Absolutely not. You can try if you want, but me personally not treat nobody and how to treat me, because that's gonna tell me say you want one for something. Me not think all the time. Figure life is too short and unpredictable. I'm here today, I might not be here later. So I'm not supposed to take my time for teacher, because it's not a teacher. You understand me? And you have people who they're conditioned in their ways, because they were treated a certain way when they were young, and they've gone through this. But I tell people, life is literally a choice. Hey Pat, it is literally a choice. We, as human beings, we're the only living things that have the cognitive capacity to think a certain way. So when certain things happen to us, we can either choose to let that be us and let our circumstances determine who we are and who we become, or we can look at it another way and tell ourselves that, listen, I don't want to be like that. For example, my mother wasn't a teenage mother. So let's speak about somebody whose mother had them when they were a teenager. A lot of times, the children who are teenage mothers are children who have mothers who have teenage mothers, or who were born when their moms were teenagers, right? But on the converse, you have people who their parents had them when they were teenagers, and they saw the struggle, and they saw all the consequences that that were as a result of their parent having them that early. And they chose the part, listen, I don't want to suffer that much. I don't want to have a child when I'm that young. I'm not ready. And then choose the other side. So it's always a choice. So I personally don't believe that I should be begging anybody to be telling me, I shouldn't be telling anybody how to treat me. Dee says, I was thinking about that the other day, how I haven't known you for 10 years, but it feels like it. And there are people that I've actually known longer, and they don't connect like we do. I love it. And promise to come out more. Yes, you should be. We should have a drink. No, for real. I always say, I have 3 children, and my responsibility is to raise them, teach them. And that's supposed to teach a big great one, great front woman or great front man to tell them how to treat me. No, that's serious. You either want to be my friend or not. And I've heard so many times that you're such a great person, and everybody will be looking to have you as a friend. And I get the compliments, and I do have a lot of friends, I do. But let me say, it's just like, I don't know, I give my all, and if I'm not getting that reciprocity, it makes me feel as though you're not see what me I seen at me, and you when I see what me I seen at me, it's not really my fault. It's just you. For some reason, it's not transparent to you. Clearly it's opaque, so you can't see right through it. And I can't blame you. It's your view, it's your vantage point of me, but it doesn't. Your view of me is not subjected to who I really am, because I'm valuable. And you have to tell yourselves these things, because then you'll stoop for just about anything. Learn to set your boundaries and raise your standards. The people who truly belong in your circle, or your square, or triangle, or whatever shape it is, will truly step up to the plate. You understand me? As humans, we're always striving to be the best, or thriving to be the best. You understand me? So for people who want to remain paltry, if you want to remain paltry with them, fine. But I'm all about progress and great things and big things, and I'm not going to stay stagnant with somebody who refuses to move. So if we have a friendship and I realize that it's not progressive, of course, I'm going to deviate, because I don't think that's the norm. The norm is always to get more and be more. be more to self, be more to others, be more serving. So if I realize I can't serve myself and I can't serve you more, then clearly there's an issue. Now it's up to me to assess and evaluate and draw a conclusion. What do I have to do? And that is why it's very, very, very important to have self-talks. It's great to have friends, but it's great to have that thing called self-talk. I regularly talk to myself in a very, very regular, very, very regular. Like a few weeks ago, I wasn't feeling so hot and I was feeling extremely down. And I had absolutely no one that you have friends, but there are certain people that you wouldn't dare share certain things with because, some people just want hear say life not too hot face and they can't skin out the whole of them 32. All the rotten one them. And laugh after you and say, yes, man, but also she's stressed out and that one like her life perfect and very, very judgmental. And I'm not one of those individuals, but I do believe it or not, I tell people that there are times when I talk a lot, especially when I'm doing this. And there are times when I'm super quiet. I just observe the room. Not necessarily the room, not the physical room, but the environment. It's just a figure of speech. I observe the room and, I know when to speak and I know when not to speak. And if they tell us something through more your ear, hey, Ken, you understand? If you tell us something through more your ear, yeah, if you don't want your ear, you're not going to hear it. So I was feeling absolutely down. Hey, brother. And, Kenny's one of those very, very good friends, I tell you, I have great male friends. I have absolutely great male friends. Anyways, I was feeling so down. And I called my friend D. And, she was a bit busy. So, I went outside and I sat in my truck for a while, probably like an hour. And the minute I came out of the truck, she called me and I was like, I was just about to go back, to go back in the house. And she was like, try to go sit down. And we were talking. And after speaking with her, she is a therapist by profession. And of course, she's a friend. And, so we were having that conversation. And I'm not lie, we spoke for about maybe 50 minutes. And I felt so much better. And I know, I can swear that whatever was said between me and her, it stood there. Sometimes all we need is that talk. It makes no sense to say you have friends. And when you're ready for talking about them another day, you can't get them to talk to. So if me was a weak person, I never have deep talk. I probably go kill myself, probably go back home to go back to the rope or drive off in a one lake or something. I don't know. Because you have to understand when it gets too full up here, not a lot of people can manage the pressure. TJ did say pressure was spike. So there comes a time when some people just can't bother and then they have no one to talk to. They feel as though they have no one to talk to. And then just do what them have to do. You understand me? Not everyone can manage, can guide themselves to just know that it's just a moment. It's a bad moment, not a bad life. And this is what I always tell people. It's something that I've had to reiterate it so many times. Crystal, you're just having a bad moment. It's not a bad day. It's not a bad life. And to be honest, if you can get through that bad moment, you look for yourself a few minutes or a few hours and say, damn, this is almost like end my life for our, do away. I don't know, whatever you had in mind. Because it really, it really does help you after you've surpassed that moment to self-evaluate and be like, really? So it's important to have that talk. So back to what I was saying, I had to give myself a talk. So after I finished talking to Dia, and it was a Sunday morning, I'm looking at the mirror, I'm a girl, like literally speaking to myself, not in my head, speaking out. My mother always asks myself, why am I allowed to talk to myself? But there are times when you're thinking it, but sometimes you need to say it. And that's how, you can reaffirm. And, it's one of those methods that I use to remain strong because I'm human. Yes, I'm going to joke, I cook food, I laugh, I'm going to inspiration, I'm going to motivation, there are people who emulate me in so many different ways. But there are times when I feel like it's too much and everybody feels like that. Like people always say, the therapist need a therapist. The doctor needs a doctor. The lawyer needs a lawyer. We all need, it doesn't matter what profession we're in, we need somebody else. No man is an island, no man is alone. I'm looking at the girl, I'm looking at the mirror, I say, no, girl. I say, you're too nice for them to kind of stress you. I say, you have to do better. I say, you have too much people that depend on you. You have your tripping them that depend on you. You have your family that depend on you. You have people you don't even know or look up to you so much. No, you have to get it together. It's not that serious. You've got to get it together. But am I entitled to bad moments? Of course. If I'm just always on the go, smiling, grinning and skinning, me must depend on Mali or something. You understand me? Me can't just go, but I have to depend on certain farmer jobs to just go constantly, go. So I really got go. You know, you are entitled to have your moments. And what I realize that, you know, it's in those moments, a lot of times, you know, it allows me to reflect, self-reflect and self-evaluate. Self-reflect, self-assess, self-evaluate, and you know, either come up with an hypothesis or come up with a conclusion. Because me know that this that I just felt can't be the norm, and I don't want to go through it again. Nobody likes to feel pain. You understand? Whether it's physical pain, mental pain, whatever kind of pain, nobody don't like to feel pain. You know, so it's always after those moments, you know, I say to myself, you can't go through this again. So you're going to have to re-strategize because that initial strategy didn't work. What are you going to do different so that you don't experience this another time? And I would have never tell nobody say I'm perfect. Me not even try. Me not perfect. And not tell if I'm perfect and I look, don't even look over it because it's not me. Not try to be for myself. Not try to be nobody. All I'm trying to do is just to be happy, be the best that I can be for my children and friends and family. If it's not good enough for them, I saw it go. To God be the glory, great things He has done in my work for me. He's a double IP, and I'm grateful for who I am. But I'm also grateful for how much I've, you know, overcome. Like the other day, you know, my best friend, who's a guy, you know, he looked at me and he said, boy, I'm not telling a lie. You know, if people know just the half of what you have gone through, they look at Tanya in America, yes, so. Nobody will no grudge of where you have. Nobody will no grudge of which part you're there. And we don't have to go through that. You know, if you've been following me for years, and you know that you don't know someone to know the story, you know, I've been through it. But what I've never done was sit down and blame nobody and complain to nobody and say nobody do this. You know, I've never done that. You know, me know some actions them have consequences, and you know, I've lived through my consequences and I've learned from them. And it's through some of those processes that, you know, I've met some really, really, really good people. And you know, that is why there are days when, you know, I look and, you know, I can't believe some friend really dead. It's just so sad. I was saying it to my mother yesterday. Sometimes I can't believe Rosie dead. You know, one of them big woman friend the way, you know, she has this, her laughter is it's almost palpable. Just her whole, you know, being. She, Lord, that somebody can't nice so. But of course, you know, I have other friends, you know, that are living and are just, you know, as great as she is. But you know, we're all idiosyncratic beings. So, you know, nobody can replace her, you know, but everybody played a role in my life, and I really do value friendship. And you know, that is why it really gets to me, you know, whenever I feel as if, you know, I'm being disrespected or a friend of mine is being disrespected, you know, whether by them spouse or a family member, I take it very, very personal. Me not talk to you because of them something there. You know, because, you know, I believe in, you know, the basic human principles that, you know, of treating each other right. The Bible says, you know, love your brother as you love yourself. And, you know, I'm pretty sure there are, you know, other verses that, you know, summarizes that, you know, in different ways. But, you know, it's always treat people how you'd love to be treated. And that's how I go about doing things. Even like the other day, I went to the store and, you know, I was cashing, and there was this guy behind me, and he was on his phone, and then he was looking at the can Ackee and the can Callaloo. And you know, clearly the other person on the line wanted it to get both. And he was like, "Even until I say $20 loan, I can't buy so much something." And I said to him, I look at my basket, I said, "No, I say, all right, I can't stop, and I can't for this because I'm on a big trolley." And I said, take up the two of them and come, man. And he say, "You serious?" And I say, "Yeah." And I guess the person on the phone, you know, asked him who it was, and he was like, you know, says an empress there, so I said she will pay for the things, but I don't know if she's serious. It's a big man, I want the things them or not. Okay, if you make me cash, I left, I get to the don't get it now. And you know, Emma, you know, he took up the Ackee, and you know, him asked for the Callaloo. The Callaloo was in a different aisle. And we go for the Callaloo, I'm looking at the basket, and I start, I look like about $40. I say, "You sure that alone you want?" Me I hoping, but I said no. Sorry, I was hoping that he would say yes, that is all he want. Me say, "You sure alone?" Me say, "You sure alone that you want?" And he was like, "Yeah, man. No good, man. I'll help me out. Me can't just, me can't just deal with the thing that way then." And him coming at the line and catching say, "Boy, Jano Empress is coming like a godsend, And that's just me. Me treat people how much I love for people treat me. I regular me at the line. I when me see how much money I have to go swipe off all one credit card, me I said, "Judge, somebody can't just walk up back at me and say they will pay for this." And I've done that on more than one occasion. I have a few people, probably like 4 people who I've met, in that sense, them in the line and, either them left them card or, they not have enough money and, I'm that individual. And, I always remember what Jim Rohn said. He said that giving starts the receiving process. And it really does. And when I give somebody something, whether it be a friend or a family member, I don't necessarily look back to that person for something, but I know that the universe will reward me because for me it's a great feeling to receive. But when I tell you that it's synonymous to me and it's magnanimous as well. Now when I give, and I see the look on people's face, it does something for me that receiving doesn't do the same. Me not say one in life right now where would I really need. Me not say want and need for myself or I can't afford. You understand me? So I do feel, but does feel good when I can, give people where, them can't afford for themselves, and especially growing up poor and, as a child wanted so many things. One could dollar, me can't get one dollar, me have to put ear in the buckle and I plant, grass in the buckle and I plant the grass here. So, and, so like I said, some of my friendships, are built on basis of giving. And I really then get back from tangible things, but just the respect and so forth, it's great. QQ said, how you deal with a disrespectful situation with a friend? Do you cut them off and move on, or do you approach them about the situation and address it? So I don't know if you just joined the show, but for me personally, me name delete and pronounce. Yeah, man, I mean delete and pronounce. I don't know. Like I always said, I said it earlier, and I will forever say this as long as I'm alive and, I'm doing this show and I'm publicly speaking, I'm have a voice. I always say this. People know what they're doing. And like I said earlier, there are times when somebody genuinely doesn't know. They genuinely don't know that they're doing something to either evoke certain kind of emotions in you, or, causes certain things to, have a ripple effect on you. They just don't know. Their actions are genuine and they're very, very innocent. They're ignorant of the fact that this is causing C to feel that way. You understand me? So you can address that situation. And it's after you've carefully assessed and, come to the conclusion that, say, Danny really don't know what she do to me. Kenny don't know what she do to me now. I don't think Shar know what she's doing to me. And so in instances like those, you can address it and you can say, boy, Shar, when I tell her, you do this, it make me feel away. Judith, you did this the other day and I don't like it. And if these people value your friendship, of course, they won't do it again. But if you have to go to that person 2-3 times, method right now, there's no respect. Because it's only my children and me talk to a few times. They do certain things. They're children. You're raising them. So you have to constantly reiterate things for them to get it. For them to, get it and cement it, as a part of, their psyche. And a part of their development process. So, after, repeating, they get it. And so they won't do it. Then put their finger on the fan the first time and the fan blade give them a rat. They say, don't do it again. Then probably we got tried a second time, but just they probably won't do it a third. And certain behaviors, when certain behaviors take place, you can address it. But if somebody does something with blatant, like what we call style as Jamaican, or something disrespectful, and you feel away and say that person genuinely knows that them do something wrong and then come to you, come apologize, me cut off. Like I said, for me, one of the easiest things for me to do, I don't even block people no more. I just delete your number out of my phone. So, like my WhatsApp is very, very personal. And everybody may give my phone number. So if you're on my WhatsApp, consider yourself personal. I mean, I say me an open ring for nobody. Yeah, well, me, I'm my own Oprah. Well, I'm not even Oprah. I'm Cece. I'm special. So if you're on my WhatsApp, then you're special because I really don't give up my number like that. Facebook, Instagram, those platforms are open. So you can always follow me on them, you can look on them, you can look on my picture, you can chat me in man, you can comment, but I need it like ugly Barbara already. I have a black sheet today because she does too enough. I'm really, I'm past that stage where I used to argue with people and comment that I need to do something bigger than that, so I just block you. You're not really up on my page because you value the content when me come to deliver. So you can't make me go block you can't go try to find somebody else's page because you want to come draw out my followers them, and it's not about that. Okay? So I'll just take your number out of my phone and I'll delete every single conversation that we've ever had, just in case I feel tempted to go back and I need that chat and find you and talk to you. And then the next step in my strategy is to tell myself that you're dead. Because nobody looks for somebody who died. If me know say you're dead, there's no way I'm going to sit down here and say, boy, she soon come back, say him soon come back. When you're dead, you're gone. So I pronounce. I saw me do it. Genuinely, I saw me do it. So, I don't take disrespect. Me not take it like that. Me not deal with it. Me not deal with it well like that. Me allergic to disrespect, and for that reason, I don't disrespect people. I don't do it. I'm careful of my choice of words. Like me, I've grown, and maybe some of my friendships in the past maybe had to do with how I dealt with a situation, but I don't feel guilty for certain things, especially where I'm at now. And I strongly believe that the friends that I don't have with me no more are friends that had to go. Because we all know the elevation requires separation. And we can't carry all of the dirty baggage with we. Okay? Just like when you're going on an airline, I don't tell you, you have to carry this amount of pounds. An airplane can take a certain amount of weight. And if it did up to somewhere, we carry with house, we carry with dog, with cat, with every single thing on the plane. So the airline sets a cap on how much pounds you can bring, and if you want big extra, if you want to bring extra, you have to pay for it, though. It's not free. So that's how I look at it. You weren't supposed to be in my life. There's no way I can bring you with me because you're pulling down on me, and I am one that I'm allergic to stagnation. I'm choosing to move forward, upward. It's your choice to stay here, sweetheart, but we are not staying together. You is not my Siamese twin. No, you is not. So you stay there to me gone because you don't like nice things. You don't like nice life. You don't like progress. You don't like self-actualization. You stay around the facades. You can stay. But me gone. Me have my Usain Bolt spikes and me run gone. Because me like nice things, like me say. Me know the poor life when me grow up and I don't want to go back there, so. Yeah? Poverty not fit me. Me too nice for poverty. Because when me beard and so put on my clothes and so me look very, very nice. I mean, love the look how me look. When me be and put on my clothes, so I have to make sure say me I go always be and put on my clothes. When you keep me for this in your look stagnant environment, me can't go nowhere. Me can't go nowhere. Me go run so me go dirty, me go look like me go adapt the kind of behaviors that are in that environment, and I don't want that. I'm always trying to hit the top of that Maslow hierarchy of needs, that top part of the pyramid that speaks about self-actualization. And if we know a little sociology, we know that every single time we hit self-actualization, which is the fifth stage, we're always looking for more. And it's really progressive people. You have some people who have no problem being complacent. They're comfortable and they remain complacent. And nothing is wrong with being comfortable, but do not allow your comfort to be transposed into complacency, because it can be lethal. So me always I look for more. So me know nobody will go keep me around this. So. And this was, allowing people to constantly disrespect you and finding excuse, either it's you who's trying to find an excuse for them, or it's them that is giving you excuses. So so the reason why I'm doing this is because of that, and then they do something else. So so because of this, and then blame them upbringing, then blame them job, then blame them man, then blame them woman, then blame them pitney, and they always have a factor that causes them to behave like this. People like those I stay far from. I don't like people who make excuses. I like people who make changes, and radical changes too. Your changes have to be profound. They have to be sincere. You're not supposed to be making changes because I say they affect me. You are supposed to see that whatever you did as an individual is affecting me, and do it out of respect. You understand me? You ever hear some people say, say, actually, you make me do this? I don't like them kind of people there. No. especially when it's a certain situation. You understand? It change because you see a need to change. Because if you're doing it because of me, then we're always going to have a problem. Because you don't have that initial urge in you to do something. It's always me who is going to, nudge you in a certain direction. And so if I don't nudge you, then you don't do anything. No, I like people make changes for them own. So if you want to remain disrespectful, by all means, but not to me. So whilst I can't force you to respect me, I can refuse to allow you to disrespect me, because like I said, me allergic to disrespect. I want to see that come me run. Me run, I mean stay far from it. So you can't do anything you want, but you're just not going to diss me. We attract people on the level of consciousness we are. And that is so true. Roxy said, no disrespect around here, period. I don't tolerate it at all. And always remember, it's the things that you allow that continues. Whatever you allow is what continues. So if you allow the disrespect, think about it. Like I always use my life as an example, and my children. If every single time, my children them ask me, if they do something, and it's not really the right thing to do, and I continuously say yes, 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 they'll constantly ask because they're expecting the yes. But if them ask, I'm gonna say no, then probably I gonna stop. So when you're in relationships, because we're not just speaking about friendships, when you're in relationships and you allow something to slip and slide, because we all deserve forgiveness. I truly believe that, especially when it comes to certain things. Because certain things, the Bible says, if you give your brother 70 times, 7 times, how much time that somebody do the math? So I really want it for time, and it's really and truly based on what people who really understand the Bible have said, is that you're supposed to give that one person for that one sin 70 times, 7 times. I don't know, I have the patience like that. Me is not God, but I try to be God. I don't know. And I will forgive you, but it don't necessarily mean say clearly I'm not gonna forget. And I mean, so it doesn't mean that I am gonna be blind to certain things. You feel me? So I can forgive, of course. More God to forgive me. He's a sinful person. Me is wretched, but our thoughts, sometimes the thoughts that we think, they're sinful, and there are sins. But ask God to forgive me. But me is not God to just forgive one somebody over just a constant disrespect. Say you're disrespectful, go on by your business. You don't value me, go on by your business. You don't rate me, go on by your business. Me not dead. Me never hear no person, no mortician, or no no pathologist. I've never heard one of them diagnosing somebody say, boy, actually the friendship never work with a person and dead. Lack of friendship, no. Stress and bad friendship and something can cause stress. And that's certain things cause stress. It's true, I'm ready for that, because me too cute and me too have whole heap of something in life. I'm not gonna make nobody stress me. I'm not make no man stress me. I'm not make no friendship stress me. I just might put them alone. I allow little room to stress me. I may see that get too far, me will start stress them out back. You understand me? Yeah, it's like that. Having poor, massive God, somebody says 70 times 7 in one day. Someone that is that right? Then God is a good God. God is a good God. Yes, He is. God's not me. A God, see? So me gonna never try to be like God. You can imagine. So that one somebody forgot irk me so much time in a one day. Then not do that. No, so how much that? Nobody did do the maths. Anybody did do the maths? That's too much. That is too much. Having poor boundaries allow all kinds of Why? These are having poor boundaries allow all kinds of dunce bat and disrespect and all kind of media things where me and we don't tolerate. We're beyond that. Let me always say, I'm better than nobody. Me, I'm not better than anybody, because we're all human beings, and so you'd never hear me say, because me hear people, I've literally heard people now, oh, be better than you, me better. Oh, if the two we get 2 gunshots in our head, the chances are the two we might dead. If the two are run out, listen, one car, one speedy coming car, the two might dead. So I'm better than you. Am I making better choices than you? Maybe not, because how you evaluate your choices might, you might be using a different method to get to your, conclusions, and I might be using a better one. So, I don't really compare myself with people. I personally don't. And I believe that, once you have a certain level of, knowledge, and I won't even say education, because I have friends who don't necessarily have the same level of education that I have, but we can reason because them have sense. I'm so friend have only for degrees. I still just one boy and don't, but if I want to say if I buy them buy for it. It's like when people buy their license, to the person driving and say I must buy them buy their license, and you say to yourself, say, boy, I must buy this money by them education. You understand me? But I don't know, man. You really do gotta set your boundaries, because people are step, people are jump, people are do all kind of stuff when they set some kind of flimsy boundaries. You have to set your boundaries, and I'm firm and believing in them. And like I made a post today, and I don't know how many people saw it, but I made a post and it says here, this is what I wrote today. And remember, all my writings are original. I rarely quote people. I listen to a lot of people. I read a bunch of books. You probably can't see no book them. Tell them about me. Yeah. But they're all good books, Eckhart Tolle, Darren Hardy, Dale Carnegie, Daniel Coleman, only different people. And I love business books and I love inspirational books. And so I wrote this. I'd choose to stand alone every day rather than stand with people who don't practice reciprocity or acknowledge my value. Life is literally too unpredictable to remain in places that doesn't allow your light to transcend beyond that immediate environment. You're literally in a box. It not enough creases and not to come out, and may know the light is meant to go out. You see the speed of light? Light travels so fast. Life is too precious to spend time with people who drain your energy. In order to grow and ever be anything worthwhile in this life, you'll have to be prepared to make some hard decisions, but it will mean that you are finally putting you first. I want heap of people I know, man, where stay in a relationship, especially relationships. And sometimes I know it's not easy to walk away, especially for, people who have children involved. And so the disrespect, it continues to, it's just always an addition of another kind of disrespect. And, they take it. And what that does a lot of time is to demean that person. It starts to eat away their self-esteem, their self-confidence, their self-interest, their self-image. And it just takes away slowly from the inside. And eventually, it starts to display on the outside. A lot of people stay in situations similar to those. Me not gonna tell nobody say I've never been in situations where I know or I knew better, to get out of. And I've been in situations where I felt like, I was losing myself. I've been depressed before. I've been diagnosed depressed. I've been diagnosed depressed. I wasn't taking any substance, but I was getting therapy because I needed it. I was mentally depressed badly after giving birth to my daughters. And if you've been following me for a while, you would. This is something that you would have heard before. There was a point in time when I just had my daughters, and I could not bear the sight of them. When someone put them nice, we put them treat. It's like on me cute. We put them at treat. We put them at 10 times my cuteness. And there was a time when I couldn't stand to see them. Baby, them young, them can't run all them do a ball, which is natural. But I couldn't bear to see them. And I knew that something was wrong. I'm like, no, sir, this can't be normal. I'm gonna tell my doctor. I said to my gynecologist, Dr. Foreman, I don't like the babies. I don't like them. And I have certain questions and ray, blah, blah, blah. And then we found out that I was depressed. You understand me? And it was a very dark time in my life. But then I realized that I said, I could either choose the pathway of continuing, down that road, or I could change the trajectory of being someone who was depressed. not someone who is depressed, someone who was depressed. And that's what I did. I mean, never want and she prescribe a whole heap of something and me don't even look down at Walgreens because I say, I go for them because I start I don't want anything to allow me to, that makes me feel sane. Me feel like, say, me being in a situation, I should be able to get myself out of. I don't feel like a substance should be able to help me. I mean, for people, there are people who have to take it, and I'm not bashing you, but it's that, our minds are very, very powerful, and believe that. Not don't for a second believe that your mind isn't powerful. But I spoke to myself and I'm like, see, if you need these pills to get you thinking straight, then you might need them for the rest of your life. I don't even like to take my asthma meds. I don't even like to use my inhaler. I don't take my pills. I should, but I really don't. But if I needed those pills to keep me happy and sane, it was gonna be a problem because I'm not consistent with certain things. And I said to myself, like, you can't do this. You can't choose this life. You have to choose this life. This life needs you, and there's a lot that you have to do. You have to get yourself together. It's a self-pity. Anyone I'm a friend them can't tell. Anyone I'm a real friend them can't tell. Me hate people who look for pity. Me don't even want nobody pity me. I remember a few months ago, my mom had a stroke, and not a lot of people know about it. See, I probably just disclose this publicly. My mom caught a stroke, and I sent it to few people who I thought deserved to know. I wrote a text and I sent it to these people. It was the same message. My mom caught a stroke. She's now in the hospital. Really don't feel like talking. You can text. And everybody respected that. Me not like pity. Me could have come on Facebook and ball, oh, my mother have a stroke. Me could have create one GoFundMe account for look this and look. I mean, I like pity. I'll take prayers over pity any day. Yeah, some people love pity bad. Yeah, my media is dead for hungry. I'm not tell you. Just go and live off and look at the photo me have for me. There are certain things that I won't say because that's how much I hate pity. And you have some people love it, but I mean I like people love pity. Self-pity is poisonous. Self-pity can lead you to your demise because you're sitting there and you're looking at all the bad things that have happened to you in life, like you're extra special. Like Jim Rohn would say, because clearly, you'd realize by now that he's one of my most favorite speakers. Poverty is not a gift reserved for the poor. It's not a special gift reserved for poor people. So bad things it's not things that are reserved for poor people or people with salt. Rainfall on the just and the unjust. Rainfall upon the rich and the poor when poor. When rain fall, yes, upon me, it fall over this upon the rich people. If it fall upon Oprah House, it fall upon the White House. So, that's how I look at things. So there are times when things happen to me and I'm like, Jaja, then why me? But I don't even ask that question anymore. I'm like, just help me to navigate myself out of this. And then we understand, that when we go through certain things, certain things are indispensable to go through because then they create certain knowledge, certain information, certain key information that we need to go through life, to navigate the next phase of our life. So I'm not really ball about this. You're not gonna catch me a ball about certain things. That's straight to God. You're not gonna catch me a ball about one man that treat me bad. You're not gonna catch me a ball about one work. You're not gonna catch me a ball about certain things because me don't say no special. Me's not the first. Me not create history right as so. Because me's not the first person to happen to. Me definitely not gonna be the last. So I don't like self-pity. Prayers over pity any single day. So how I communicate, my down moments or my sad moments is different from how some people do. Some people don't. Because remember, that's not what we say, it's how we say it. Come and say, boy, my mother can just joke it up. I don't know, me I go bad it. No. But nobody pity me. Me afraid of pity bad. You understand me? So me know if you communicate my info. But I realize that self-pity is not cute. Me I like it. If you are my friend and at all, you will know that I don't like people sit down and want people to pity them. No, don't want me to pity and don't pity yourself. The kind of care going away. Self-pity really causes stagnation too. There are so many things that causes people to remain stagnant. And I don't think people understand. And that is why I'm say it's good for you assess yourself. It's good to assess friendships, relationships, every kind of little vessel. It's good to assess them. Because your assessment of that vessel is strongly dependent on how far you're reaching at this life. Because if you're in a relationship where really not care, going to the man beat you every day, not help you out financially, mentally, make you feel the range, which part you think you're going to go? Your only place that it is a mad house. You understand me? You have to assess those vessels, and you have to jump ship if you have to jump ship. Let them say a style, let them say I do this, let them say this, let them say that, let them call it whatever they want. Choose peace over everything. Because without peace, it's confusion. The opposite of peace is confusion. If you're confused, you can't think logically. You can't make profound changes or choices. You can't navigate yourself properly. You're going to look up in a one tree over here, so you're going to drive by the train track, when nasty clearly. That's what happens. So you have to be able to learn to assess. And if you feel as though you're not being properly valued in whatever the vessel is, leave it alone. Leave it alone. We see too much people dead over certain things that could have been avoided. The man has stressed them, the man have next woman, man have kill woman over man have kill man over woman, and I feel like when you value yourself a certain way, you don't even do certain things. Let me tell people, you don't never see me a fight over a man. And there are few instances that I can, remember back in the days them, before me even hit my 30s and understand that me a real good girl. Yeah. And there have been 2 occasions lucidly that I can remember when I reached out to other women and be like, yeah, my man, and we're, and no, I'm meet me. In my stage, yeah, me love life, but I will mad people around that clean clothes. Me not gonna approach nobody if you're gonna shoot me or stab me in my neck and kill me because I have my trip. Never live for. I have my 11 fish in my aquarium, so me can't dead right now. I don't know nobody else to kill me. I must God must say, boy, see at time because you need it up here and then take me of natural cause. You understand me? Not gonna be no serious death. Not gonna be no girl stab me. I know man this. Not gonna be them kind of stuff. Me not altercate with nobody. But I needed those experiences because you know what they did? They made me realize my hurt. Because I'm not gonna tell a lie. Me nice bad. Me is everything a man could want. And before me jump over this and continue the conversation, because anybody gonna put on the chat that self-praise is no recommendation. I have something to say to you. If you can't recommend yourself to somebody who will recommend you. So self-praise is actually a recommendation. I had to look into myself. Why am I not seeing the latest chat? Like I literally had to look into myself. I said, no girl, you too nice in a man problem. You too cute for argue with nobody over one man. You is literally the whole package. You're not supposed to argue with nobody over certain things. You're more than that. You bigger than this. You bigger than that. No, need to be sorry. My mother already do very, very well. My mother is a trooper, just like me. She's the best. And she me learn from. You understand me? So me have to look at myself and I said, Jaja say and Jaja know. I really approach them girl like, Father forgive because I know not what I did. Because it could have never happened nothing in this life. If you see the man and you want to take him, maybe go with him because it means he was never meant to begin with. He was never meant to begin with. Me not fight over no man, me not do certain things. And you know why me not go do certain things? Because me value myself very, very, very much. And your assessment of me doesn't modify my value in any way, shape, or form. Because if me tell us it's a $1,000 bill over here, so I mean, you know, not work, but it's just a little scenario. That's what I am. You probably see 100 and I look, but I hear you them cats and you look over there, so you don't look right. Yeah, so that not have nothing to do with me. So me really not feel no way. But me still see myself as that $1,000 bill. Doesn't matter what you think. And because I see that value within myself, I know what that value entails. I know what it means. I know what it possesses. And so I know that I can't do certain things because then it would be negating the fact that, you know, I am that who I say I am or I'm of that value that I say I'm of. You understand me? I can't do things contrary. So all me could over here and say me value myself, bother me is this and me that and me over this and fight for man. Hey! But I look like one big yamed, yellow yam too. One big yellow yamed. Nope. But I look like one big stinking yamed. Talk it true, girl. Oh, I'm say, I don't know why them sell flowers. You can't stay. I'm me. I mean, I'm not really a flowers. I love roses. I won't necessarily buy them. If I get them, I'll take them. I love them. I love them. But it's the plants. Oh God, me love plants bad. Plant. And they say enough you have plant in your house because of the oxygen and this and that. But me, that's how I love them. Me buy anything me want to make me happy because me deserve things. Oh God. You see, my mother talk and me and say, boy, we were talking and we were saying something about, it was on the lines of, constantly buying things and how I think it was Solomon, the wisest man on earth. Like him says, I don't remember. My mother know the Bible very, very well. I'm ashamed, so I don't really know it. But it was something along that line, and then she proceeded to say, sometimes the vanity, like it grieves your spirit. In the sense that sometimes you look on the things that I said, well, if something you buy, and say, we never really need to buy that and kiss a teeth and your son. I do certain things. But sometimes I just tell myself, Sarah, I just buy what I want. And me love nice things. When I go always say, I love nice things. I not say I don't wear cheap things, but you have some things that are really, really nice and they're very expensive. And me not go work so hard and not treat myself. Then if I not treat myself, I will treat me. I have to show something expensive and dear I do. But I have to show something like nice things so you can't get me nice things. If me sure say us rainbow and pretty girl me buy things, you have to have the audacity to walk in a rainbow and pretty girl too. You understand me? But you have to go to expensive store why you're walking because you want a nice strong pocketbook them. We don't want when we want the cheddar string out of the pocketbook. We don't want when we want the shoes heel and walk on and lean left. You walk left and the shoes heel go left for them. We want something that balance me. So me, you understand me? So if me not take care of myself, who gonna take care of me? I'm telling you, I value myself. Calm and conceited. I always say it. Do not misstrue my level of confidence for conceit or me being cocky because it's really, really not. It's just that I'm super confident within myself and I believe in treating myself in a way that I would love for others to treat me. So if nobody start treat myself like one big yellow yamet, me can't expect man to treat me like queen. If you can't just come and just open up like a clothespin, so and no value for me, show me no respect for me, no love for me, no committed to me. But every time you come, me just done one big clothespin around the back, like the clothespin over the line, but I was open up, so that never come with nothing. It's not gonna come with anything, and I'm not necessarily speaking about tangible things. Cause like I said, I not say what I want for myself, what I can't afford, but come with respect, because that means more than anything that you could ever stretched and give to me. More often also in the day, you rate me and you have my back. More often also say you're exclusive. More often also any little girl can look at us jump down to them. So you understand me? I saw me for sure. So this is me over here. So me's a Rolls Royce pan the car lot. Me not out there advertise those kind of vehicles. They don't advertise their worth. Me could have never in my right mind right now walk up in a one Rolls Royce car lot to go say me go buy because I can't afford it, but I go put myself in that just because we go impress nobody. Me go buy what my pocket can afford. But the point that I'm trying to make is that what time I know? 8:09, we have a few minutes to go. You now go see me outside tell nobody, me is valuable and me this and do this. No, me is not a care. Me not tell you say you pay how much money, no money down at $150 a month. Me not advertise none at all. Means like a Rolls Royce or a Bugatti or a Porsche. I'm over here, so I'm stands my grounds, and you from the out there, so I look for me and just know say that girl is very, very valuable. And it should be illustrated in the way I speak and and my actions. Like me say, me not perfect. If you look for perfection, wrong page, wrong person. Okay? But I am somebody who's big on respect. I respect myself and I respect others. You understand me? I saw me steer. And that's how I like to be treated. That's how I want people to treat me. Treat me respectfully. You understand me? You have some people that's disrespectful straight over, man. They don't rate you. They don't understand value. And it's just, they're just hard to deal with. And that is why me just pronounce people dead nowadays. Me's not a pathologist. Me not go to school for to pronounce people dead. That is me never go to medical school. But me pronounce people very, very regular. Because Rosa, me see you want to do like you more than me. No, that is not the case. You know more than me, oh, sir. Miss, you's not more than me. So we not gonna go over for this together. You can't go and no stay so. But in my head, you're dead. And you know, my best friend tells me that it's harsh. But I believe that he's adopting the strategy tool. He's adopting the strategy tool because he realized say that's one of the ways where you gonna cut off people to themselves. Say, boy, I did what I had to do. Them gone and now come back. You don't even want them to come back. But as human beings, we need certain experiences. We do need certain experiences because these experiences, they shape us. They shape our lives. They really do shape us. Had I not gone through certain things with friends and men and jobs, but I'd be one idiot. But I'd be one big yammed. I would not be this assertive, ambitious, confident girl of me. But I'd not be a good girl. But I'd not be a good girl. I'm not tell a lie. I would be timid and settling off anything and feel, I feel like I wouldn't be this outspoken if certain things have happened to me. Come to know, I never really stay so. I wasn't always this profound young lady who saw herself, of high value and deserving of certain things. I never stay so. One time I used to stay one way, or I just cost you, I'm not business. I'm telling you, go suck where you need to go suck, and used to say certain things. I'm realizing I can't live so. Whereas when I get children, I realize that they kind of live it and behavior, they can't go too far. I mean, my mother raised me well, but we all know say there's a different J where mother raised in the house and a J with out the road. You understand me? We turn chameleon when the seasons change. We adapt to the seasons, and so if I had a situation I'm going over, so I have to be that person there. But like I said, I realized that I couldn't continue on that path because after a while I realized that people were looking up to me. People were reaching out to me, with their most confidential, situations or whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, I have to be different, because I can't come to contact with people business. So, at that point, I had to learn to retain certain things. I look at those one, so person for open. So, you have to just keep your mouth shut. And, you realize you have to change the lifestyle because the lifestyle don't look cute. You need a lifestyle where will match you, the individual. And, so I had to change. And I had to drop people, There are days when sometimes I miss the bond, but the disrespect I can't forget. And so I'm not sorry for what I've done. I'm going to tell people, and I'll tell anybody here, if you feel like this is not the page for you, don't have to come here. Because if you come here with the disrespect, I'm going to block you. A couple of people when me black and realize a couple of big women, and it's a mixture of big women and young girls, and some man will just go like them a girl. Like I've literally had to block. I told them a black barber around because the post that I made a few weeks ago when I was in Florida and I was walking, and she was all over the post. CC, you're a married woman, and some something deserve to be sexy. People don't understand, and that's some me enough woman agree to because I all me look. It's a problem. And I tell the shape like square or triangle or water. Me never ask God for what me have. Like me tell somebody the other day, so when God give an eyebrow, me busy run back and get bottom. It's not my fault. I went choose, I went see me look good, I went feel something they deserve to get. And so I hate when I post my pictures or whatever, and me lobby them now show. You're not asking me about all. You're not asking me titty nipple them. What a problem? But up on the beach in a bathsuit is a problem. CC, you're a married woman. CC, you're a motivational speaker. CC, you're a mother. CC is human. And I left more show them parts of my name earlier. I can't show them more. Judge all you want. I said someone who's so righteous and God. That's not found a man left for no. Because I'm not the big stinking night to them when people were all the man were in the hospital, so now go down to bed. You think no man wants to do something there? Put on look sexy something every now and then. You understand me? I'm not don't look something there. But because of how I look and who I am, I realize a lot of women take offense to it. But take it up with God. Talk to God, don't talk to me. Because I have a natural body. Push out tree pitney. I'm still look at people have problem with it. And then they want to come on my page where me create. After this the acca take it away when they I end up get back my fan page. Because I don't have my original private page. But they have one of people. I'm glad. And yesterday there are days I'm glad that the acca it away. The man, one man from down Spain. We can't even pronounce it. One man from down Spain take it away. So if you go up on my page right now, tell us that the page is being managed in the United States and Spain. Ask me who knows Spain. I don't know a soul down there. But the man take it away. But there are days when I'm happy because there are a lot of people that I had on my page that really needed not to be on there. Because when me tell us say, there are times when I post pictures on my private page, which may end up with stop post. I don't even post on it right now. I don't even too post much on social media anyway, but there are times when we realize you post a picture and you know that people are seeing this stuff, but they not like it, they not comment. I mean, thank God, me not do this for the love. Sorry, I not do it for the likes, I do it for the love. Because I probably gonna hurt myself a long time. So the page was taken away, and I'm super, super happy because there are people who I considered friends who would never like something. You know, say I hate them, I hate. And the page gone, I'm still alive. The page, the man took the page from April, October, we know I'm still alive and well. I'm meeting a little better than ever. And so here I have my fan page, I have my Instagram, and these things are open to the public. And you have people who have a problem with me and they want to come with disrespect. No, baby love, not on my page, where it took me years to have this amount of followers. And my content is profound, it's original, it's educational, it's inspirational, it's motivational, and it's entertaining. And you want to stay behind your phone, your Android, or your Apple when I have only past storage and can style me from my good platform, them it not gonna work. So I'm not gonna make your drama out, and you're not follow me for the right reason. So I'm gonna block you. There are times when I see comments and I just ignore them, and I have some lovely followers that will take on for me because I don't have to take on. But the point that I'm trying to make is this is not the page to come and disrespect. But I'm not going to style you. The people are going to style you. I'm going to eventually block you. So if you are following, forget look styling tips, look at edging tips because the edge them stay nice and them something there. Natural edges. Look at workout, we do look at cooking, we do look at decorating, we look at life coaching, we look at motivational speeches, we look at joke here and there. If you're genuinely a following for learn something, I suggest that you keep yourself quiet and don't try to on this because I will block you. And then you use the by your own because once we block you can't, unblock. Because me don't look back on my blacklist. Don't even know if I find the blacklist on Facebook because I'm not interested in unblock you. So it goes back to what I was saying earlier. I cannot force you to respect me. But what I can do is refuse to allow you to disrespect me. And me block and delete in those cases. Those are the instances in which I block and delete. Because I'm not going to allow nobody to come style Miss Nelson data. Yes, this lady had the audacity to see you're a married woman. So if you look like big old woman in a Poco church, and that's what I look like? What do you want me look like? Wear them big dress there and put a hijab over my face. Me is not part of the Muslim culture. Me is a Jamaican. We know if you expose look at skin and look at melanin. What a problem. And I saw nothing wrong with it. But through me I walk, I'm to look at the Jordan I go so. Me came just a barber about a flat bad. And she had a problem with it. And maybe every time never flat, I don't know what the problem. I don't know. Now I let people sometimes I go up on them page, so them I do certain things. And I make certain comments. And I say, I go take a look on them page. And I say, Jesus Father. Like there was one in November when I posted that picture and she tell me, I'm married. No, she never said I'm married. She said, I'm a motivational speaker and this picture is appropriate. So I go up on good girl page, go look on good girl page. She look like when time plastic melt. You never see plastic buckle get bonfire by the time just start the farm. I just saw she shape. I'm saying to myself, and this is why this girl was behaving like this. So this has nothing to do with me looking good. This have everything to do with she looking bad. And nobody no bad shape, but I don't believe things I want to choose to eat and want to eat. When I enjoy no Popeyes nightly, on a bad food and a sugary drink. Me over here, so I drink water and I try to eat right. So do not be mad at me when me come out looking a certain way. That's not nothing to do with me, whether I'm married or not. So true, me married, me can't walk in a nice fashion over just and look nice. True, me married, me not supposed to look nice. Let me tell you something. Me, I gonna look good, married or not. Because me looking good is not contingent upon having a man. Me looking good is exuding my confidence that I place in myself, my value. So that any man me there with no say if me gone is a pebbles him lose. You know preps? Not pebbles, you know preps? When you pay my when I print it, when I put no one in preps. Let me see a raise off on if you don't know what in preps. Class participation what right now? We don't get a mark if you don't, we don't get a very, very good mark if you don't participate in the class. We don't know what in preps. We don't know what in preps. Look here now. Preps are one of them marble there when I have no crack palette, no external damage. Anne-Marie know what is at preps. You know, like Anne-Marie alone know one name preps. And if it's just one student in the class know something, then enough know something. I always say if I'm addressing a crowd and if one person got the message, I would have done my message. So Anne-Marie in the class know what is a preps. Okay? Me, like I said, me being me is not contingent or dependent upon any other thing. It's just me knowing my value and acknowledging it. And me is a preps. Yes, Marcia said pretty and shine. Yes, man, I want to marble the way. It just precious. You don't even want to play it. You don't even want to when I play a ring, you don't even want to put it in the ring because you don't want nobody shut it out and take it for themselves. Yes, when you hold the preps dearly more than you take it when you look at it and you look, you turn it and you spin it in your finger. Me used to play marble. So I was a tomboy. Play marble, climb tree, got class, do everything women are supposed to do. God bless me, I turn out so good. For real. But y'all know what a preps is. A lot of you know what a preps is. Yes. Simone say nice and smooth. The nice and smooth marble. So in my eyes, me is a preps. Okay? So me I go dress like a preps. Me I go talk like a preps. Me I go do every single thing like a preps. Because me knows that me is a preps. So if a man no one realize him is a preps, if a friend no one realize him is a preps, that is for them problem. That does not take from the fact that me is still a preps. So me I go remain a preps. Okay? Me going to remain a preps, but just understand this one thing. So when you put that preps in the ring, because you don't follow the preps, so when you put that preps in the ring and somebody lick it out, and because you know when you play ringing, and you put the marble and you chew up and you lick, whatever you lick out, you're taking out. So if you carelessly left me in that ring, God go with you when somebody else lick me up because me gone with that new owner because that new owner acknowledged my value and my worth and know what it feels like to have something valuable and probably won't let me go. So if you don't want to know that your problem, I saw me look for myself in a life. And I'm not conceited. And people who understand the concept of value understands this as well, that being a valuable being is you understanding just some very, very foundational things. You know, you understand that your circumstances doesn't necessarily have to make you who you are. You know, they really don't. And, you know, life is all about choices. And choices can mean you go this way, that way, that way, that way. And me thinking that I'm valuable, you know, like I said, it's just me understanding my worth and that, you know, I don't deserve that. I'm deserving of this. Like Jim Rohn would say, life doesn't respond to needs. Life responds to deserves. So you won't get a job because they need a job. Your boss won't look at, an employer won't look at you and give you a job and say, boy, you know, say a trip she have a master, she need a job. No. I have to do something to, you know, allow that man to realize that, she deserves a job and she deserves to get this pay. It's not what I need. Life will not, attend to your needs. It will attend to your deserves. And me knows that I deserve the best in a life. So it simply means that I have to do things that will allow the universe to send me things and people that I deserve. And so it's crucial that, we look in our lives and we assess. That's a verb that you'll hear me use a lot of times, assess. We have to assess our lives. We have to assess our situations. We have to assess our relationships. We have to assess our environments. Because if we don't, we will never understand our value. We will constantly set boundaries and have people tear them down. You have to constantly assess. Because you're getting anywhere worthwhile in life is determined by the people that you spend your time with, the conversations that you have with people and yourself. Because you'll only get in this life what you deserve and not necessarily what you need. It was great having you guys here tonight. I have a lot of things to do. I'm going to apple picking. I want to see them close them. But I'm about to leave you guys. And guys, remember, to be honest, I over the years that I've been doing, whatever kind of business, I've gotten support, but I feel like support can be more. So as I always ask you to reach out and you see me now, so you like it, buy it. No for una swipe off a local credit card and not stress out the strip. For go buy Louis Vuitton and Gucci and Balmain and Versace and Tory Burch and Alexander McQueen and Alexander Wang and all the names that one can't pronounce. But you never go back to the local website and buy something on the price range and something you can't pronounce. Go over to the website, Justice 876, and support. Get something, show support. And my book is still doing well. 3 years on Amazon. I need to get a breakdown of how much books I've sold. I've sold a lot of books. I really do appreciate it. I got 2 messages last week, of people who bought the book and, recommending me. Like I said, it's really a simple book. And, it's one of those books that really helps you to restore whatever was lost and, to affirm and to claim and to execute and, all of those things. It's really, really one of those books. So if you have not done so as yet, please to jump on Amazon and order a book. No for una buy something. I'm going to better in life. Me feel like say if you're going to spend money, spend something on something, I'm going to help you make it better in life. Okay, Truman, me a bit put it up and I listen to you. Oh, thank you so much, darling. I feel like I don't eat one of them, one piece of that potato put in there. But yeah, man, just go and support the thing, the website, justice876.com, I have the clothes them over there. Whatever you see on the website, if you want something different, it can be printed. If you're hosting a party or, a wedding or whatever, reach out to me. Not the rates and not, I hosted a party such a Friday night. It was such a vibe. And there were so many people in the crowd that knew me. That's why I have to be a well on my guy when I'm up on the live, And I always get this. One lady walk up to me and she's like, "Oh my God, Cece, I didn't know you were so petite." I always get that. Always, like, people think I'm this big looking blue barrel, but me not big. I am not big. So every single time somebody approaches me, them always say, honestly, they thought I was bigger than that. I'm really not that big. I am a tiny little girl, very, very tiny. But it was really, really good, and it was somebody who, I knew, that, saw my work, and, somebody asked someone and say, somebody person link up, so just want to spread the word. That's why, me implore them to share the live, because we never know who will watch it. Andrew might watch it and want somebody for host up a Veil Royal theme. You understand what I say? I can't tell you on a Veil Royal look and how much Teti Andrew have in him house and how much dress Juliet. I would never know. You understand? So I have to spread the live, share the word. Notary Public here in the Bronx. You know, we do immigration consultation. You know, we help them fill out forms and certain things. So just reach out on, you know, the 646 number right there, that J pinned right there. You know, if you're going through something and you want somebody to speak with, you know, I'm your girl. Like I said, people reach out to me for so many different things. Boy, if me that charge me not rich. But you know, I just do things because I also gotta bless me one way or the other. You know, so if you want somebody to talk to, you know, there's no one. You know, I always encourage speaking to somebody if you feel like it's something you alone can't manage, you know, reach out to somebody. If you feel like you don't have anybody you know where you can't trust, reach out to me. I don't know you, I'm not gonna tell nobody your business. You know, I only advise you, and you know, a lot of situations that people reach out to me with, you know, for the most part, you know, sometimes, you know, things that I've gone through, and, you know, I've healed from them or, you know, gotten myself out of them. So, you know, me know how to navigate you. And if you're looking to listen, if you're gonna come to me and ask me for advice, and you're not gonna take it about a waste of time. I love that, but it's not that serious. So don't even bother waste my time. Okay? Not at all. Don't waste my time. And so, yeah, we do a little hosting, you know, we do all the little something. I understand because we say hustle the money, what Cartel say, hustle the money. Yeah, man, no hustle. Me's a hustler. Me not dead for hungry. Me not depend on nobody to take care of me because my family big. My three people, them love nice things and them eat a lot. So me have to make sure me work to take care of them. Yeah, so, you know, reach out to me with anything that, you know, you want to discuss, anything for next week. You know, if you want to talk about something next week, you know, just shoot me up in the inbox. If you're on WhatsApp, I can message on the WhatsApp. You know, we remain anonymous. We don't call people name on here. And yeah, we just keep going to the live, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let Natel take me out.
Ayo, Natal, represent CC Live. CC said she ready to educate, so make sure you log on to CC Live. She inspired, so make sure say you want to need to CC Live. She will entertain you too, only for you. And when you want motivation, just listen to her talk. Make sure say you want to come to CC Live. You have to listen every word. When CC talk, you feel inspired. Put the one and not your life. The truth in your life. She will be active in your life like many verbs. Yes, she makes sure say you want to be happy. With CC Live, you don't need no TV. Put up your foot, get ready to enjoy CC. And you have to show no if no but I'm happy. She ready to educate, so make sure you log on to CC Live. She inspired, so make sure say you want to need to CC Live. She will entertain too, only for you. And when you want motivation, just listen to her talk. Make sure say you want to come to CC Live.
Listen, I love this song. If you don't know this song, you need to listen to the song. Big up Natel for the song. One more time to take us out, and I'll see y'all next week. And please remember to follow me on the platform, them, okay? It's very, very important that you follow me on the platforms, okay? Out.
Hola. Ayo, Natal, represent CC Live. CC said she ready to educate, so make sure you log on to CC Live. She inspired, so make sure say you want to need to CC Live. She will entertain too, only for you. And when you want motivation, just listen to her talk. Make sure say you want to come to CC Live. You have to listen every word. When CC talk, you feel inspired. Put the one and not your life. The truth in your life. She will be active in your life like many verbs. Yes, she makes sure say you want to be happy. With CC Live, you don't need no TV. Put up your foot, get ready to enjoy CC. And you have to show no if no but I'm happy. She ready to educate, so make sure you log on to CC Live. She inspired, so make sure say you want to need to CC Live. She will entertaining too, only for you. And when you want motivation, just listen to her talk. Make sure say you want to come to CC
night.